know, we've already been up here a while, so one thing I really wanted to do today was be sure that you guys got to ask questions about Cuba. We have a couple of microphones around. Drew Nagy's up here with one. Jack, do you have the other one? Are you able to do that, please? Or is it, Greg, are you going to do it, or is Jack going to do it this morning?
I got it.
So, start asking questions.
He's just putting away a Dunhill Suprema selection. Did you see that? He's trying to hide it in his pocket. David, how deep are your pockets?
Oh, they're deep.
Oh, that happens. Last time we went out, you didn't put your hands in your pocket, did you?
Caught me. That barrel chest look, you think it's, you know, all weight to the gym activity. It's really Ajay Cigars. Yes, sir. Would you stand up and just give us your name and where you're from?
My name's Tim from Southern California, and questions for Dave. You know, he's got a lot of gray in his beard. It's about time for him to retire. How do I get his job?
I'd just like to point out that I had jet black hair and no gray in my beard when I started working for this company. It's stressful. It's killing me.
You know what? I don't detect a lot of sympathy out there for Dave. I know I don't have any, so...
This is for AJ. My name is Michael. I'm from Chicago. What's the oldest cigar you have, and what's your favorite?
Fantastic.
I know it's a tough question.
No, it's not tough at all. I can reel that off my front of my tongue, I can. The oldest cigar I have is Juan Lopez Regalo Perfecto. It's a 1931, and we did a sampling in our lounge with my members, and we opened up a whole box of 50. Wow. It was phenomenal. I have the pictures on my website. It was a short Perfecto, which is only this big, but when it was made and boxed, the actual cigar was a normal Perfecto shape. Over time, it changed shape to like a 50, I don't know if you guys know a 50 pence piece. It's hexagonal. And it changed the shape completely, the whole box. So when we gave it to everybody, we all did at the same time lighting, but we had no alcohol whatsoever. All we had is water. First cigar of the morning it was. Obviously I did a pre-test before. And for me, what a cigar that was. It had flavors, but flavors that came through your mouth. The actual tar that hit your lips had a sweet taste to it. Phenomenal. That's the oldest cigar I've smoked.
I went to remedial math class on that cigar because I identified it in the magazine as a 70-year-old cigar. It's actually an 80-year-old cigar. You know, 2011 minus 1931 I studied well. I learned my lesson, but it's an 80-year-old cigar that AJ was really generous enough to give us one, and it truly was astonishing how much flavor and power that cigar had. Just unbelievable.
Cigar Aficionado did rate it. If you look at the Connoisseur's Corner, I think two or three issues ago. If you look at it, it's in there. What a cigar!
Yeah. Good morning, J.P. Hamlin from Bali, Indonesia. You mentioned that you keep your cigars at a little lower temperature. Do you bump the humidity up a bit on that?
No. The humidity is 64, 65.
That's the same humidity. The 15 to 16 degrees is about 63 or 64 degrees, right?
That's humidity. In temperature, we keep the temperature at 15, 16 degrees
Celsius.
Yeah,
which is about 62 or 63 degrees.
Yeah. Wow. I think if you keep it as the normal, as we all know, at 70 degrees, it's too much humidity to age cigars. Because you're blasting too much humidity and the cigar doesn't have time to age properly. Just reduce the hit. If you know you're going to age a cigar box for decades, this is what you have to do.
Before you smoke it, Jay, do you bring up the humidity at all, or do you leave it at that level?
No, you leave it as it is. It's just done on slow pieces.
I would say this is a cultural difference. It's always a debate that we've had with our UK friends, is that generally in the UK, that is the humidity level that they smoke their cigars at. I keep mine at 69 to 70% humidity. to me, it puts a flavor profile in my mouth that I prefer. But I know that it's a very legitimate debate, particularly if you're doing this long-term aging. So. More questions?
Yes, I'm Larry from Dallas. AJ, when you store your cigars, do you open the box or do you leave it in the paper wrapper? If you take the paper wrapper off, do you leave the box cracked or sealed, or how do you do that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, good question. That is, as I said earlier on, every single box that comes to UK is open. Even all the vintage cigars that I've got in my collection, every single box is open. So when you ask me a question, do I keep the box open? I keep it open, but I just seal it as it is. I don't put nothing else in it. What I tend to do, I put them into a Ziploc bag, and I just Ziploc it, spray the bag a little bit, and put it away, and that's it. That's all I do to it. And I've had boxes that I haven't opened up for 12, 13 years, but I do randomly go and check on how the cigar is doing, making sure it hasn't got blue. If it has blue, and now I'm talking about white blue, not green blue. If you've got green, that means you're using tap water, which is not good for the cigars. So you've just got to make sure that you use right water for your cigars as well.
Green is mold. Green is
Mold.
bad.
Green is bad.
White is okay.
Green is bad. It's going to make you cry. And throw your cigars away.
Hi. First of all, I'd like to excuse myself for my accent. I'm from Brazil. I'm a little bit nervous. So,
Are you nervous? What about me?
Yeah. I would like to know, so I have, as I told you a little bit earlier, I have a cigar news website in Brazil right now. It's the #1. And I've been to Cuba 4 times this year.
Alex.
Alex. And I would like to know, because I talked to a lot of people in Cuba, I have a lot of friends over there, and I heard that a lot of distributors have already received the limited editions around the world. But last time that I spoke to my friends in Cuba, they were not selling yet at the Casa Del Habano. Do you know why they are taking so long to sell these ones in Cuba, as you already got the boxes?
Yeah, that's another good question. Damn, you guys have got good questions tonight. Now, years ago, when new cigars used to come out, you always used to be released in Havana. And all the La Casa del Habanos in Cuba used to receive the allocations first. But what used to happen is that the commercial market used to be there. And a lot of consumers used to go over and buy the products from there. Obviously, being Havana is a cheaper price, we all know that. So what Habanos did, they've reverted that. Cuba is the last port of call to get the cigars now. Obviously, if they export the cigars, they get more money. They make more money. So it's, commercially, it's viable for them to send it out first. So Cuba will get it, but they will be the last people to get it. So I hope that answers your question as well. Thanks, Alex.
Hi. I'm Dan from Slovenia. I have a question about counterfeit cigars. Can you tell me what's the percentage of counterfeit cigars from Cuba, and how hard does the industry fight against the counterfeit cigars?
Well, I think Cigar Aficionado can help me here as well.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that the industry worldwide, both in the non-Cuban and the Cuban sides, work very, 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 very hard to stop counterfeits. I mean, it's money that is stolen from them every day. The Cubans have done these things that we showed you on the box with the hologram on the seal. They have really tried to standardize all the quality of the boxes they're putting out. So there are always clues that you can see on boxes if you're intent on really looking for them to be sure that you're not getting counterfeit cigars. In this country, we know that every cigar company that comes across a counterfeit of their brand, they're talking to the local authorities, they're talking to the FBI, they're going after these people. when you say, counterfeit, part of the problem is that they don't come from Cuba, or they may not come from the Dominican Republic. They're being done outside those countries, or they're being done in secret factories in, say, the Dominican Republic. So it's very, very hard to control the actual production of it. And these days, with printing technology the way it is, I mean, you've probably seen $10 bills that have come off Xerox machines that are almost indistinguishable from the real thing. So the counterfeiters also work very hard to try and stay ahead of the measures that the manufacturers are taking. Dave, do you have a number that we've thrown around?
It'd only be a guess in terms of the percentage, but it is very high. And I can tell you it's a huge problem. And one of the ways we know what a big problem it is, last year, Gordon and I did a seminar on counterfeit Cuban cigars. At the beginning, we asked the audience, has anyone ever bought a counterfeit Cuban? And a few hands went up. At the end of our presentation, where we went through the various the codes on boxes, the way that some of these counterfeits look, some of the very elaborate things these counterfeiters are doing to try to fool you, I think more than half the hands in the audience went up. It's a gigantic problem. And the only way to defend yourself is really to be as familiar as possible with the product, the end product, and to buy from authorized retailers and people you can trust.
Yeah, and I mean, he gets a laugh from you about that, but truly, the Casa del Habanos around the world, if they have counterfeits, it would be a surprise to me. They really are quite diligent, and I know they get checked all the time.
Yeah, we do get checked on a regular basis.
And if you look year to year at the roster of Casa del Habanos, sometimes there are 2 or 3 that drop off the list. I'm not saying it's because of counterfeits, because the Cubans have a very strict set of regulations that the retailer has to meet. Size of the establishment, whether you have a smoking lounge. I mean, there are a variety of things. But they are checking on it to be sure that the real product is getting to the consumer.
All the cigar retailers who are really interested in the product they sell, they will take great knowledge, find out knowledge on an actual real box itself to a counterfeit. As a retailer, especially after the summer holidays, when people go on the holidays and come back, they always bring back fake cigars. They come in the shop. Just 3 weeks ago, I had a guy who had 4 boxes of Cohiba Exprimidos. First question I said to him, do you smoke? He said no. Why would anybody buy Cohiba Exprimidos, which is one of the most expensive cigars? Obviously, he's bought it for $30, wants to come back, sells it for £300-400, pay for his holiday. And when I said to him it's fake, he said to me, how do you know? I said, I don't know nothing. I'm not going to buy off you, and that's it. So you've got to be careful.
You know, folks, we knew this when we were talking yesterday, that we could probably spend the rest of the morning here taking your questions, but we do have some other panels to get to and some other things to talk to you about. So please give AJ a big hand.
I answered all the questions and you enjoyed my little summons up on Cuban cigars. I'm here until later on this evening. I fly out tomorrow. So if anybody wants to come and see me afterwards, I'm around.
Do you ship in the U.S.?
Come and talk to me later on.
Good answer.
Gordon, David, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Voy para Marcané, llego a Cueto, voy para Mayarí.